Back now at 8:10 with an inside look at the life of an animal hoarder. The hit Animal Planet series Confessions Animal Hoarding returns tonight with brand new episodes. Yolanda, who shared her home with 9 dogs and 29 cats, is featured in the new season. We're going to talk to her in a moment. But first, a quick look at her story.
Hey, Tiny.
I would go crazy without my animals. Literally go crazy. I can't stay at my mom's house.
Mom, it smells awful in here. I'm sorry.
You just can't keep up with that many animals, especially the cats.
I have told my dad I just wish they were all gone.
To make things better, the cats need to disappear. Yolanda, do something so we can be a family again.
We want to help you. We want to love you.
I'm not going to take back what I choose to do for my own sanity.
Yolanda, who is not using her last name to protect her privacy, is with us this morning. Samantha Morrison treats some of the animal hoarders on the show. She's a psychologist with the Anxiety Disorder Center at the Institute of Living in Hartford, Connecticut. Good morning to you both.
Good morning.
Help us understand where this comes from and what you're afraid of happening if you're unable to have these animals.
Loneliness. You're afraid you're going to be alone and nobody there for you. You're used to... excuse me.
You got emotional just looking at that video.
Yeah. Because I love those animals. I love them. And but I love my children more. And hearing my children, I haven't seen this, and hearing my children say those things, it's devastating. Everything I did for their lives to try to make it better.
You said you have the most beautiful kids in the world.
I do.
And yet, without the animals, you've also said you felt alone. How can those two things happen at once?
I think part of it was when my children moved. My oldest daughter moved out. I mean, she's old. She graduated and she moved out, and she did her own thing. And then I had family start passing away, and the animals were there to fill the voids. When you don't have a comfort level, the animals fill those voids.
Why does this happen, Samantha?
You know, there are numerous reasons why people develop this condition, and I think in Yolanda's case, it kind of works in the sense of the fear of losing things. So the over-attachment to the animal is a source of comfort, but then also by acquiring so many animals, it seemed that was a protective way of keeping other people out to prevent further loss. So there's just numerous reasons why people can develop, you know, hoarding, and especially hoarding of animals.
Right, and even though your children said that even though your children were upset by this, it didn't, the wake-up call didn't happen until later, did it? What was the wake-up call?
It was just, all of a sudden it was, this is where I'm at. This is where I'm at. My daughter, my mom, they were so sick. My house was such a mess, and it was just, what am I doing? Did you know it was a mess? Did you know this was a problem at the time? Or is this more about denial through every stage of the process? Oh, it was so denial. It was so denial through the whole process. And then all of a sudden I had the, wah, and it was like, what have I done? What have I done? What have I done? I've had these animals I can't take care of. My kids are suffering. My husband's working for what? To feed animals? Everything just went to them. And then one day when they called me and I looked at everything around me, had it not been for them pointing out, so how's this and how's that, and Animal Planet was, they were probably 99.9% of everything that I opened up and I looked at, but it was so denial before that. Would you call this an addiction, Samantha?
It can look like an addiction. There's so much that goes into it. You know, there are mood concerns and, you know, depression, anxiety that's often associated with this type of hoarding, impulse control. You know, there's just so many things that we know it can look like obsessive compulsive disorder. So to say just a type of an addiction, I think would be to missing the larger picture of how much goes into this.
And it comes in different forms. There's another case of a woman named Lisa, whose home was actually immaculate. Right. But when her cats died, she kept them in the freezer. Right. What was going on in that case?
Again, an inability to let things go, just this overwhelming attachment. In Lisa's case, she had lost her mom, and so again, continuous loss, and her inability to let go of the animals, feeling like she let them down, that she failed them in some way, and she was just stunted and unable to let them go, so she was just keeping them the way she knew how.
You've had a difficult past with drugs. You said getting over drug addiction is actually easier.
So much easier. It was so much easier than this. How is that possible? It's very possible. It is very possible. I'm telling you that when you let go of an animal, it's no different than letting go of a child or a loved one, because an animal loves unconditionally. And as far as I'm concerned, it was just the most devastating loss next to my human family members that I've ever taken.
That's an important issue to be understood. Yolanda, thank you for coming in. And Samantha, thank you for your time as well. Again, new episodes of Confessions Animal Hoarding premiere tonight on Animal Planet.